What it do? It's your boy, Illuminated D. And you know what I'm saying? We back with another one. The first thing I want to do is thank you to everybody who's liked and commented. And to all the subscribers, Pops and I want to let you know how much we really appreciate you. For you to come and spend your time with us and consume the content. While we're understanding that you have busy lives, we want to thank you and bless. Well, family, today is November 11th, 2025, and I got a short topic for y'all, something light. Want to get right into it, and it's basically talking about don't get caught in the mix. You know, family, survivor's guilt, survivor's remorse is a tough thing. You know, you could be in a good place in your life and you could be looking at your friends. You could be looking at people that you knew from your past, even people in your present sometimes. But I want to let you know survivor's remorse and survivor's guilt is a real thing, family. But don't get caught in the mix of it all. See, when you're doing good, there's like this thing that happens where people could sense it in the air. And you know, somebody once said that it's easier for somebody to pull you down versus you pulling them up. Now, why would they say that? Why would they say that? I think the reason why it's easier for somebody to pull you down versus for you to pull them up is because the time and the effort that you've had to put into self, to your own mental, in order to sharpen your mind, those hard lessons that you had to learn, trial and error, failing and trying until succeeding, trial and error, failing and trying until succeeding, has given you knowledge that unless an individual that you're trying to help pull up is willing to implement into their own lifestyle without all the the excuses, right, will allow for you to be able to elevate somebody else's life faster, right? But the problem is a lot of times, right, sometimes people can come into your life and not offer you any direct value. Now, if everybody's working as a team and you're basically helping each other get to the point where you all can stack your bread and you all can elevate while being on your separate journeys, that is amazing. That is a beautiful thing. But what I've learned about in this world is that most people don't want to work together. So getting caught in the mix is not having a clear depicted plan on where your life is going. So then you start getting distracted. It's easy to get distracted out here. It's easy to get distracted by conflict, confusion, uncertainty, other people's lives that they want to try and draw you into, their misfortune. You know, the 48 laws of power says avoid the misfortunate because their misfortune can be brought upon you. See, if you have enough light, then you can outshine the misfortune. But that means that they have to be doing the work in order to put themselves ahead of the misfortunate circumstances, which is technically like beating inflation, by assisting you on your journey so that they can be put in a better position. But family, you have to avoid getting caught in the mix. And the reason I say avoid getting caught in the mix is because on your trajectory up, you still have to face life. You still got to pay your bills. You still got to go through the trials and tribulations and the turbulence that come with living this life. It's not perfect. It's not easy. Nobody ever guaranteed that it was going to be easy. Nobody said, you know what, you're just going to wake up on sunshine and rainbows every single day and just have it your way. And I think a lot of times that's where people get caught up in the mix. They solely rely on their charmingness. They solely rely on their good looks. They solely rely on, the connections that they had way back when, without realizing that it's not just a one-sided key that turns all locks. It's having the ability to be able to use your mind to be creative while having the charminess, while having the looks, while having these other gifts that God gave you in order to be able to traject yourself up. So I think people sometimes in life have it backwards, and I would say survivor's guilt is hard because when you start to see what it really takes, like all these bad Jones that are on TV that are really getting to it, they're actually putting in work. All these dudes that are on TV and they getting it, they're putting in work. For some reason, there's this disconnect where people just believe that people get rich or wealthy by accident. And they're avoiding the mix. Now, it may not necessarily be the most conventional thing. Like they might do music. They might, sell a product. They might be a football star. But think about it. They were the best of the best. In order to play football, you got to be the best of the best. On live national TV, in order to be in basketball, the NBA, you got to be the best. If you're an artist, you got to be the best. So if you're not the best, you got to be able to work and outwork some of the top performers. And I don't want to discourage you all to make you feel like you don't have an opportunity. But avoiding the mix means coming up with a clear vision, a clear depicted plan. You're not going to always know exactly how you're going to do it. You don't need to know exactly how you're going to do it. You just have to start. Just a year ago, we started this YouTube channel. We had 0 followers. But through consistency, through trial and error, constant effort, 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 consistency, the opportunity was made possible to be able to actually make some funds off of this. And I couldn't do it myself. It took me adding Pops. And Pops was the one who figured it out. I'm just here. You feel me? I could have still been doing the same thing, but because I chose to add a teammate, because I chose to work as a team, because I chose the team over being selfish for trying to solely want it all for myself, we had the ability to actually make some bread off of it. So family, I just want to tell you, I don't get caught in the mix right now. We're at a tricky time in life. We're at a tricky time in the world. A very tricky time. There's a government shutdown. People aren't getting paid. People are crying about not having food stamps. There's uncertainties going on in the world. There's wars and rumors of wars. The Bible says in the end times there will be wars and rumors of wars, but has there not always been wars and rumors of wars? People were just in Africa saying that God was coming back. I do believe that God will come back. But it seems as if it's somewhat of a repetitive cycle. And in order for us to survive this, we got to create things that are going to help individuals, right? We got to create things. If you work a 9 to 5, you will never be rich. You'll never get wealthy. Never. I want to make that clear right now. If you're working a 9 to 5, you have no upside potential to ever become wealthy. I just want to be honest with you. Like, that fallacy, let it go. I work a 9 to 5. But I got a business. I do YouTube. I do music. I got a clothing brand. One string, 9 to 5. Music. Clothing brand. Fitness. You see what I'm saying? YouTube. It's 5 strings of income. And I had 6. I had a watch store, but they shut me down. I was making too much. And that's not me bragging. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm still living the day-to-day life. I don't want to brag about anything. I just want to work with other individuals who are high speed, highly motivated individuals who want to change their life. That's all I want to do. That's the only type of individuals I want to be around. I don't want to be around the individuals who are crying and complaining all day about why life did them this way, why life did them that way. The truth of it is we all make choices. A lot of times the survivor's guilt that we see on the outside looking in is we're looking at individuals who have made choices and chose the lifestyle that they have, and we feel bad for them because we seen their opportunity and what they could have done, but then trying to go and help them, it just seems like they're too far in the hole. But the truth of it is I was getting my hair cut the other day, and there was this barber, and he was cutting my hair, and he gave me a great haircut. He did 10 years in prison. And I said, how do you save somebody who's so far gone? And he said, you're never too far gone. He started a transportation company, and he makes $1.5 million a year. He went to college. He got his degree in logistics. You know what I'm saying? He transports medical products all across the state. So, looking at that, I said, well, what was the difference for you versus someone else? He said, first, don't get caught in the mix. Don't sacrifice your time and your freedom trying to keep up with the rest of the world and what the world is saying that you should be like or what you should be doing. And then he said, the only time you're going to make a change is when you get tired. When you get so tired of doing the same thing that you finally make an intentional decision to change your life. And when you make that intentional decision, that's what's going to change your life. He said, that's what got me rich. That's what got me $14,000 a month. That's what made me lock it down with my person. But he said she was already getting to it. She was getting to it. She was providing up front for her own lifestyle. Then he came into play, and then he provided in his own lifestyle, and they brought it together, and then they succeeded together. So they're making well over $20,000 a month just through their own career fields. That doesn't even associate with the transportation company that they started. So that just tells you, fam, don't get caught in the mix out here. You got to put the fear behind you, come up with a clear depicted plan, and execute. But I want y'all to get this fallacy out your head that people are just getting rich out the blue. Everybody, you know, people come to me and tell me, bro, I'm going to get rich, bro. And I'll be like, how you going to do it? Because I want to invest. I'm not just saying that because I think it's funny or something. I want to invest in you. I want to invest in your company. I want to invest in your business. But if it's just an idea, but you're not bringing it into reality, well, at that point, it's just a fallacy. So let's get off these delusions of grandeur. Let's get off these delusions of grandeur and let's execute. Let's get hungry out here. Let's really get it done. Let's lock in. I got a business that I'm building right now. And I want to hire like 20 people. I want to hire like 20 people because I need a team, right? So I'm getting ready to launch a new clothing brand. I think this is going to be one of the biggest things in the world. Multi-billion-dollar idea, multi-billion-dollar company. I'm in the process of building it right now. I think that this is going to be one of the biggest things in the world. And we're gonna speak it to existence now, and we're gonna put it out there. I'm not gonna say exactly what it is because I don't want anybody to steal it, but I'm gonna build one of the biggest brands in the world. Because there's only like maybe seven companies that are like controlling the market space. So I look at it like, okay, well, this is a product that everybody needs. They have to wear it. I can make it unisex. Women love it. Men have to use it. And it's easy. You know what I'm saying? It's really easy. It's really an easy process. It's not hard, you know. It's actually really easy. I started my watch business. It took me about, a week? And then we started making $1,000 a day with damn near no marketing. I didn't even use marketing. So I just want to let y'all know, like, if y'all want to get involved with the business, just hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up. Let's talk. Let's talk about the proceeds. We can write up some contracts. You know, I want to hire like 20 people. I want to hire 20 people. And we'll do a contract, and I'll probably give like each person who wants to get involved, like the first 20. After that, I'm not putting nobody else in because I need a team, right? I don't need a team because I could just do it myself for sure, but I'm going to definitely need a team because I'm going to need a couple of things done logistically in the background because I'm not going to have as much time. But it's going to be $1 billion business, and I'm thinking about 2%. So that should get each person roughly like, you know, get a stock in the company at 2%, giving out 20, and then I'm going to hold 80, of course, you know. And then we'll kind of go from there, you know, and if it's multi-billion-dollar business, each one of y'all will make about 20 mil. You feel me? 20 mil. But I only want serious people involved with it. If you're not serious, like, I'm going to know. You feel me? I'm going to know. Like, I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to definitely, like, you know, I'm going to do my due diligence because I'm not going to waste my time. But if you want to change your life and you want to help me create this and bring it into reality so that you can make $20 million. And remember, you're getting a stake at 2%. And if it's $1 billion business, that's like 20 million every single year. You feel me? 20 million, like almost a year. It's going to take a little time to build it. Now, if I have to do it by myself and nobody hits me up, well, that's just on y'all. I'll just take the whole 100 million when I end up selling it by myself and whatever, you know, I just take it for myself. But I'm going to definitely reinvest back into the community because I want to help the community. I want to give the world something that assists with what we already need. So I'm going to solve a problem. So if you want to help me solve this problem, you want to help me, I'm willing to give you a stake of the company. But with that being said, family, don't get caught in the mix, all right? Because we all want to be successful and we all want to be somewhere in life. But in order to do that, you got to do something that you ain't ever done before. And that's the reason that we doing this right here, right now. Everybody have a blessed day. Peace.